Oh man. So this one right here, this is a good one. So yes, you read the title right. There is a lender out here that is essentially giving buyers cash to buy homes. Now, of course, I'm going to go over the actual details of this just so you understand. But that lender is called Envoy Mortgage. They just got the green light from Fannie and Freddie. Now, if you don't know, Fannie and Freddie, they regulate mortgages, just to keep it simple. But they have a new program called Cash Edge. And I know a lot of people are going to hate this, but it will help a lot of buyers in the market that are out here competing for these homes. As you know, we pretty much have an inventory crunch going on where there isn't enough inventory to go around for buyers. But this new program will help a lot of buyers. So for a lot of people that don't know, when you buy a home and you submit an offer, you get something called a pre-approval letter from your lender. And this pre-approval letter says how much you're pre-approved for, and you can use that to submit an offer on a home. Now, with I would say about 100% or just let's just say 99.5% of lenders, when you are pre-approved and you put an offer in on a home, they want to appraise that home, and they're going to have a financing contingency, which means that, you know, they need a certain amount of days to actually commit to lending on the particular property. Now, with Envoy Mortgage, well, instead of just giving you a pre-approval letter, well, we'll just back you with buying the property with cash. Okay. So now, how exactly does this work? See, most lenders will just do basic credit check. They'll look at your basic financials, your tax returns, and give you a pre-approval letter. Well, with Envoy, essentially, they'll send you through the underwriting process up front just to make sure you can afford the home. And then they will allow you to buy a home cash with no contingencies. That means no financing contingency and no appraisal contingency. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, hold on, why wouldn't you want an appraisal? Like, you want to know how much you want to know the value of the home and what happens if the appraisal comes below the offer price. So let's talk about that. These banks know what these homes are worth. They have, software, and they are able to gauge what the property is worth. So obviously, if you want to submit this cash offer, they know pretty much what the home is worth up front. Okay. That's, the banks control the real estate market. For anybody that doesn't know that, they pretty much do. Okay. That's number one. Now, number two, let's just say, for example, the home doesn't appraise. So you put in an offer for $400,000 and the bank agreed with that $400,000 cash offer, but the property came in and it was only worth $350,000. Well, the bank in this case, with this program, they agreed to eat that loss. So you will only owe the bank $350,000. They'll eat that $50,000 because, that was a mess up on their end for not correctly appraising or correctly valuing the property from their end before they gave you the go ahead to submit this cash offer. Now, so since it is cash, how exactly does it work on the mortgage side for the buyer? What happens is essentially you will have a conventional loan. So you have to be able to qualify for a conventional loan. This is a 3% down program. It's just that the bank is substituting cash for you to be able to get the property faster and a lot easier because, as we know, there are bidding wars going on right now. So with the conventional mortgage, you have to have at least a 620 credit score. And of course, there are debt to income ratio requirements and income requirements where you have to be able to qualify for this 3% down conventional mortgage. Now, here's the other thing about it. Most cash offers are able to close fairly quickly. So let's just say the lender you're working with, the loan initiator over there you're working with says, hey, we can close as soon as the title work is done. And let's just say there's a hiccup somewhere and they can't close. Well, either way, the bank will purchase the property cash and then they'll just transfer it to you as the buyer. And again, you'll be in a 3% down conventional mortgage. Okay, that's all it is. There's nothing sinister going on here. There isn't any, tricks up their sleeves or anything like that. They're just assisting buyers in this market where it's very competitive. I work with buyers also. For a lot of you all that don't know, that I'm a real estate agent, and people are out here, waiving contingencies, which is fine. But this bank is taking the pressure off of the buyer. So, for example, if you have a regular conventional mortgage on FHA and you put an offer on a home that's $400,000, but it comes back $350,000, well, you as the buyer, you're gonna have to fill that gap. Okay. Well, the bank is saying if the house doesn't appraise, well, they'll take that loss. So that's actually a good thing. The other thing is if you're somebody that wants to use this program to over offer, right? So let's just say the house is worth 400, but you want to offer 450. Well, you as the buyer, you will have to pay that extra $50,000 on top, because the most that the bank is going to lend is based on the value of that house being 400,000. And I'm just using that as an example. So like I said, this program was just approved. It's fairly new. It's called Cash Edge. And of course, anybody in the DC or Maryland market that wants to get access to this, feel free to reach out to me. And of course, I'll leave a link in the description to Envoy Mortgage for you all to check out. And again, this program is going to be a game changer for, a lot of people that want to use it, because essentially you'll be able to execute on these homes. It'll look a lot better. It'll be a lot faster. And again, you may have to go through an underwriting process on the front end just so that they can make sure that you actually qualify for the home and that there are no hiccups once the home is under contract. Because of course, a lot of these banks don't want to take on homes where they can't offload them to the buyers, because then they'll get stuck with a lot of inventory. And you know how it is when banks get a hold of properties that they can't offload. They sit for years. But in this case, just from talking to a few of the lenders over there, it sounds like that, they do all of their homework before they actually execute these cash offers, or allow these buyers to execute these cash offers, which is a good thing. And again, like I said, you will have to come to the table with 3% down of the purchase price plus closing costs. And that's if you have to pay closing costs. There are some sellers that will, but for those that won't, you will have to pay 3% plus closing costs on these loans, and the bank will issue a cash offer on this just to get you into the home faster, and then it will transfer into a conventional mortgage. Let me know if y'all got any questions.